It happens the same way every time. I mean, you get a call, you talk to someone, or you get an email, a question comes in, and they're wondering, can I use this plugin that I found in one place with this other plugin that I've already purchased that's running on my site? I mean, it seems kind of like a no-brainer, right? I mean, you've spent the last months or years building your website with all the plugins and it's all working together, and yet you want a new feature. And so isn't that the whole point of this? You see a plugin and you're like, okay, let's go and try and put it in the mix. And so you go to the website and you read all about the plugin and all that it can do. But it doesn't answer the question. It doesn't answer the specific question, which is, will this plugin work with these other set of plugins that I have? And so you're left with the normal choice, right? You maybe you write an email, you call someone who you hope they may know, but if they don't have that experience, you're left wondering. And so what do you do? Well, more often than not, the people I know who are managing their own sites, running their own sites, is they take the plugin and they look at the price, and if it's low enough, they buy it. And they go and they upload it and they install it. And nothing breaks. Okay, that's good news. And they go and they configure and they spend time and they go to the website and they read some of the instructions. Or maybe they just hope that it'll be so intuitive that they can just make it work. And they go into the settings and they work out all the little settings. And then they go to create the thing that they're going to create, whether it's a ticket or an event, or it's a special calendar, or whatever a podcast feature, whatever they think this plugin is going to do for them. They go and they configure it. And they save it, and they publish it, and they go to the website, and it doesn't look anything like it's supposed to. It doesn't work the way it's supposed to. And they're frustrated. And maybe at that point something breaks. Or maybe at that point they feel the despair of feeling like, how come this doesn't work? And the reality is, right, that not all plugins work together. I mean, it's not hard to imagine if you step away from all this computer stuff where we kind of assume or think it should work that way. You can't buy a camera lens for a Canon and stick it on a Sony. It just won't work. And so there's things that happen, like when I go to get my car repaired, they have to go look, what kind of car is it, before we start fixing or changing parts. Now, I know that this is all WordPress, so it should all work together, and yet the reality is that it doesn't. And so my recommendation to you, get another site. Get a sample site, get a sandbox site, get a staging site, get a local site. If you don't have desktop server, it's not expensive. You can buy it and install it locally. Whether you're on a Windows computer or a Mac computer, you can install it and run it locally. And when you do, you can test those combinations locally on your computer to see if they'll work. And you never have to mess with your production site. That's why I recommend desktop server. Because at the end of the day, everything doesn't always play well with each other. The plugins don't always land perfectly in a situation where you're like, wow, this is exactly the way it was all supposed to work. I mean, if that happens, that's fantastic. But you don't want to count on hope as your strategy. You want to make sure that you know it's going to work and that nothing's going to break. And the best way to do that is by using desktop server and testing it out locally. Thanks.